Welcome to the Kangoma We Know, simple computer lessons, introduction to computing, beginners level 1, and today is the very first ever lesson that we will be teaching. Last week we did the introduction and I think that was great. So please remember to subscribe to our channel, and this is very important to us. Thank you very much. Today we have at the end of this lesson, the student should be able to define and understand the meaning of computer, get acquainted with some brief history of computer, distinguish between the different types of computer, what makes up a computer system. So in this series, we are actually going to be covering the definition of computer, then with some terminologies that will be used throughout in the field of computer, whether you are a computer professional or you are someone that is just using computer to accomplish a specific task or maybe to make your job easier. So these terms will always be used around every time as long as you are using a computer. So we also get to do with some history of computer, or some lines, some journeys from the creation of the very first computer by generation to the current generation of computer that we use right now. We will give you some very brief information on that as well, and also we will be talking about the types of computer. Please remember to subscribe. Computer is an electronic device that is used for storing and processing information based on the decision, based on the instruction that you, the user, are giving it. There are a lot of myths and realities surrounding the use of computer, but the actual reality is that computers do not do anything on their own. They receive the information, the process, and they give you the result based on the input, based on the instruction that you are giving it. That's what computers are. And in computer, we have two different ways. We have software, we have hardware, but at certain level, someone will tell you that you have the people's ware, that which has to do with the human's own experience, the human own knowledge in using computer, their own skills. But for this level, we will actually focus on the hardware and the software. So hardware is actually the physical components of a computer that you see and touch. So those parts of a computer that makes up a computer system is actually the hardware. Software are those information that you can see and use, that you can give instruction to the computer using them, but you cannot physically interact with them. You cannot touch them. You cannot hold them. But these are information. These are non-physical parts of a computer. And without the software and hardware do not actually work effectively. Then the combination using hardware and software is where you have this graphical user interface. That's going to come way ahead of time when we shall have advance in the next lessons. Okay, so with these things that we have earlier discussed, people's wear, like I said, will be discussed, will be ahead of you as you advance in your career as a computer professional or computer user. So here we have come to give a few examples of hardware that which you can see, touch, and maybe do some other things with, like this is the monitor, then the mouse, then the keyboard. These are physical components of a computer. These are hardwares of a computer that you can see and touch. On the other side, you will see that the software is actually the information part of a computer system, where you have the fundamental software, the operating system, which falls under the software. The operating system falls directly under the software, and it is basically the information fundamental software that runs all of the hardware and the software. Let's say, for example, you want to leave from Vonjama to reside in Monrovia, maybe to become a teacher or maybe to teach computer. The first thing you want to do is, you have to find a place to stay, right? Monrovia will have to provide a space for you to reside, and then before you can do whatsoever you want. For example, if you have decided to become a teacher, at the same time go to a vocational school, or at the same time attend some other studies, or maybe go to university, the very first thing is Monrovia will have to provide that field for you to settle, and then before you can move on to do other things. So that's how the operating system works. The operating system is the mother software for all other softwares that work on a computer. So if you have the operating system like Windows or Mac OS, like Apple, right? So if you have those on a computer, then they provide a space for all other applications. If whether you want to have games, you want to have Microsoft Word for typing, which we will discuss later in this lesson, or whatever. That's how it works. So the operating system will have to provide the environment, will have to provide a space for all other softwares to work, whether you want to play a game or whatever. So that's how it works. Then the desktop, it looks like this. Whenever you turn a computer on, whenever you boot your computer, this is what you see first if your computer does not have any problem. So the desktop is essentially the computer's home. So like you will go in other programs, in different programs, but you come right back on the desktop. So it is the first screen that you see once you log into your computer system. And then we move on to programs or apps, which are pieces of software that are designed to accomplish a specific task. An example of this could be Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. This is what I was saying. So when the operating system, the Windows or the Mac OS, provide a space for other applications to work, then you can now install the Office, Microsoft Office, Excel, and other applications that you think can solve your problem. Now, let's talk about the history of computers. The computers that we have today have come through a long way, has come through generations. There has been up to 5 different generations. Computers we use today have come through different stages, and in history there has been up to 5 generations of computer. We being right now in the 5th generation. The first generation used vacuum tube, and actually the generations of these computers are classified based on the development or the improvement of the memory, because everything that has to do with computing comes from the strength, the kind of calculations that the memory does. So that's why computers have been always classified based on the memory. So the second generation we're using transistors, right? So they were developed in 1947, and the first used the vacuum tube, the second one used the transistors, and you can see the images right here up. And the third generation were using integrated circuit chips, and they were actually invented in 1959 and 1964. So then we have the 4th generation of computer in 1975. So we currently are using the 5th generation of computer, which actually focuses on artificial intelligence, speech recognitions, and a lot of mind-blowing things that actually happened in this generation and the coming generations, and the coming, like now in the future. So now, with all these now classifications, we have 2 categories of computers. First, we have the digital, which example that you see right now, these are digital computers. So wheresoever you see these computers, you know that they are digital computers. Then you have the analog computers, like this radio is an analog computer. Then you have printer being an analog computer. These are different type of computers. So this is actually the digital computers. Also have different classes where you have the PC, you have the supercomputers, you have the mainframe computers, and also so that's how it is, that's how it works. Thank you very much, and I hope you found this very much useful, and we encourage you to please subscribe to our channel, and this is very important to us. Thank you very much. Bless you.